haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know that. Shut them haters up, you know we go so hard. Chopper hit up in they face, yeah, I'm a bulldog. Number one is what we holding, number one is what we stand. When you step out on that field, let them know you ain't playing. Step back in that pocket, launch it off like a rocket. Pass the pill, run the ball, either way they ain't gon' stop it. Bring that trophy back and let them know the CH got it locked up from the east to west, north to the south, and they can't top it. That defense they holding, that O-line be blocking. Check your Facebook, them bulldogs, they tryna top it. Them corners on they job, they receivers, they gon' lock it. And don't try and punt the ball because that D-line gon' block it. They know we coming hard, they know we coming strong. Let them haters do they talking, Chapel Hill deserves the throne. Yeah, we sit at number one, they know we can't be cloned. Now it's time to handle business, gonna bring that title home. Work, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up, throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know that. This shit is our year, so we gon' shut it down and handle that and let them haters know another L. Say we not hearing that. Blue and gold, I be wearing that. Them other teams, we not fearing that. That competition ain't nothing, bulldog country, boy, we gon' bring it back. This shit is our year, so we gon' shut it down and handle that and let them haters know another L. Say we not hearing that. Blue and gold, I be wearing that. Them other teams, we not fearing that. That competition ain't nothing, bulldog country, boy, we gon' bring it back. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know that bulldog. CH in they face, let them know I'm a bulldog. CH in they face, let them know I'm a bulldog. CH in they face, let them know I'm a bulldog. CH in they face, let them know I'm a bulldog.
Man, they do it big. Other teams talk big, but that's nothing. Chapel Hill state champs, I see they coming. In my town, when they see it, they gon' hate this. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. They hit the field and shut it down so crazy. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. Pass the rock, run the ball. CH in they face, let them know I'm a bulldog. Them lines look like kittens, I'm thinking who are y'all? Beat them so bad that they thinking it's 22 of y'all. Leaving their minds blown, about to bring the crown home. Other teams wishing that they could beat them, but they can't clone. They trying to act like they don't know. You see that blue and gold, 55, 45, 35, man, that boy's gone. Ripping this sexy, reckless down here in CH, Texas State Champions 2010. I claim that thing already. Now you can say we ain't the Dookie, but I know you smell it. Go ahead and bring that thing home, make them kittens feel it. You know what it is. Every time they hit the field, man, they do it big. Other teams talk big, but that's nothing. Chapel Hill state champs, I see they coming. In my town, when they see it, they gon' hate this. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. They hit the field and shut it down so crazy. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. As far as I'm concerned, it ain't no competition. So shut about that, bring that title home that we've been missing. Been 21 years since we had this type of victory. Shouts to class of 89, it's time to make history. What's up, Chapel Hill? We got them haters watching, but we done came too far, so man, it ain't no stopping. No loss, straight victories, the only option. Man, it feels good to be the Bulldog. What's poppin'? You know what it is. Every time they hit the field, man, they do it big. Other teams talk big, but that's nothing. Chapel Hill State champs, I see it coming. In my town, when they see it, they gon' hate this. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. They hit the field and shut it down so crazy. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. You know what it is. Every time they hit the field, man, they do it big. Other teams talk big, but that's nothing. Chapel Hill State champs, I see it coming. In my town, when they see it, they gon' hate this. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. They hit the field and shut it down so crazy. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bulldog Sports Network. I'm Brett Swinney. Corey Marshall joining me tonight. Hopefully, Vincent will be able to jump on here shortly for this week's basketball weekly wrap-up show. Corey, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going. It's going. A lot of good stuff happening.
I know you've been itching to talk. You were ready to jump on last week whenever we had the week off.
I was ready. It was tournament time. It was tournament times. A lot of stuff was happening, so I was excited.
Good news. I've got tournament recap on the schedule for tonight, so you're in luck. We could talk about that. Just want to thank tonight's sponsor for this weekly wrap-up show, as always, Zoe Knows Insurance. Thanks for Zoe for sponsoring our show every week. Hopefully we can get him on during basketball season here next couple of weeks. We've got things starting to pick up, as we'll talk about tonight. It's starting to really get in the meat of the schedule here, and it's going to be the tail of the tape, basically, to see where the Bulldogs sit as far as in the district standings. We know where they sit right now, but here in the next week and a half is really going to tell a lot for this district season. So should be interesting. Hope everyone's out there tonight is going to enjoy our show. Remember, this is a interactive show, so if you've got questions, comments, anything you want to reach out, let us know. We'll have the chat open here, and we'll answer any of your questions that you have. If we have answers for them, we'll do the best we can. Well, it's a weird show this week because there's no football to talk about, Corey.
I know.
Football's officially over. We're full in the basketball season, and I'm gonna let you start it up because tournament recap was on the agenda, and you've been itching to talk about it for a whole week. So go ahead, Corey. Recap the tournament for us.
You know, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter at your boy CM. That's a dope podcast. Obviously, I've been retweeting a lot of the stuff with the boys and girls basketball. First of all, shout out to the boys and girls. It was a very tough tournament season for us. You know, we had went to the Whataburger tournament. Boys finished, I do believe it was 5th overall, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Blue Division beat a very good Brock basketball team. And then, of course, you know, they fell against Argyle. But, I mean, you know, going into that tournament, winning 5th is a good one. Shout out to the girls, man. They won, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, I think it was, 4th place in the Aggieland tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and then shout out to Team Merce for showing them hospitality there. Obviously, that was in the in College Station, that tournament, so it was a good deal. So anytime you go into tournament season, you always want to come back with some hardware, especially if you have competition, you're playing against top level competition. It's a good measuring stick for your basketball team, your program, especially coming out of a long season like we did in football, getting you guys back, camaraderie building. So I'm very excited. That's impressive. Shout out to Coach Johnson and Coach Riley for getting those guys and girls together. And that was a good time, man. Good tournament, good wins. Anytime you get a win in a tournament, it's a good one.
Yeah, the boys also did well as well. Corey, go ahead and give us a little recap of the boys.
Yeah, like I was saying, they went ahead and took out the first game they played. Seminole took out Seminole there in that game. Couldn't remember the score of that when they played Argyle the second round game and got beat by Argyle. Went out and played a good Brock team, and then of course they ended up losing the other game against. They won against the Catholic school. I can't remember that other team name. I'm drawing a blank right now. But they
Yeah, we
won
got they
2-2.
they to see 2-2 I believe.
Could have pulled
Opened
it
with
up.
a win versus Seminole.
Yeah,
Beat a good Brock team. Brock's
yeah,
always a perennial power there in the low. Like I think they're 3A, but they're always a good team. And of course, they lost 8 to Argyle, which is nothing to be ashamed of. Argyle
not at all.
actually made the finals, and I think they lost to Van Alstyne. I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but and then they lost to Nolan Catholic, which
Yeah.
I believe they play against like All Saints and some of the Tyler. I think they're in that district. I was looking at their schedule. I believe All Saints is one of the teams on their schedule. So, you know,
Stiff competition either
they
way,
get to handpick their team. So,
right?
it's pretty good caliber opponent, especially if they're in the Whataburger. They're probably pretty good. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, we went up there and we didn't win it, but we played good quality competition and got a couple of wins out of it. I think it was what we needed because we hadn't really played a whole lot of competition early in our schedule, at least any
Right.
of the ones that the whole team had been playing. So I think overall it was a pretty good performance from both the girls and the boys.
Good
Now you may
measuring
ask
stick.
the coaches. You may ask the coaches that, and they may be, they may have a different perspective. But from the outside
Obviously.
perspective, I mean, I thought they came
Absolutely.
back and got some good wins. So
Anytime you get hardware and you're able to come together as a basketball team in any kind of tournament, that's what you want. Obviously you don't want to just go for souvenirs and t-shirts, but you want to come back with some kind of hardware that say that you placed in an elite level tournament. Whataburger tournament has been around for a long time, and so you always want to come back with something to prove that you did go up there to compete. And that's one of the main reasons why you want to go during tournament time is go up there and compete, and not just to participate, but come back with hardware, especially as a team. So you're trying to build something. That's a good momentum builder right there.
yeah. All right, so that's kind of how the tournament went there. We'll talk about the last week or so in review, and we'll go back because we talked a little bit, but basically we'll start back at week 1 of district play just as a recap. Of course, Chapel Hill played Cumberland in Cumberland. That was the game before the COVID hit me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was able to call that game, and then I had my little Christmas break / quarantine, so that was fun. But Chapel Hill was able to take out Cumberland by 40 on the road. An impressive win. I mean, Cumberland's down this year, but still Chapel Hill was able to take them out. Now, if you would have been there in the first half, the game was very close throughout the first half and then the third quarter. And then Chapel Hill just too much for Cumberland. And so they were able to beat them. Now, going on to the second game, we had that one last night right here in the Bulldog Sports Network. Hopefully you're able to tune in. If not, maybe you can catch the next one, and we'll talk about that here shortly. But Chapel Hill was at home, first home game of district play, and knocked off Kilgore 58-52 in a very contested game. Came down to the very end. I mean, it was the game was in the balance late in the fourth quarter, and so we like to call the Bulldog Sports Network Player of the Game. Corey and I nominated them last night. I'm going to give y'all a couple of plays, and then we'll talk about the aforementioned Player of the Game.
34. Oh, and that didn't look right for Javen Mayfield. Looked like his shoulder came out of socket. He's holding it funny. And that's his left That's not what Chapel Hill needs right now.
That's a shooting on. Got to get him out.
Somebody get the rebound, and Kilgore steals it, and what a play. Javen Mayfield just drew an offensive foul with one arm. What an incredible effort by Javen. I mean, his arm is hanging, Corey, and he just took a charge. I'm going to stand up and give him a standing ovation for that one.
I'm still in awe right now. Like, I don't care.
He's about to get his arm put back in place over there on the sideline, Corey, and he just took a charge. What guts!
No, his dad's proud.
I would be.
Mom and dad. Hey.
I would be. That's an incredible play right there. Up a little offensive play here. Mayfield fires up a three, and he hits it.
It's a big shot.
Javen Mayfield's doing it all tonight.
Shoulder's okay right now.
Sure is. That was a great smooth look with the left hand that he injured earlier, left shoulder he injured earlier. And it puts him up two. Kilgore, three off the mark. Mayfield with the rebound. He looks to push.
I like it. Good pass.
Kicks it. Chetland,
That's
corner
money.
three.
That's money.
Buries it. Oh, and he kind of there's a gunshot.
That's money. You know what?
Kilgore there.
I saw the play develop all the way up. I knew exactly what he was looking for.
That was a huge shot by Chetland and puts Chapel Hill with their biggest lead in a long time.
Shooters,
of 5.
Feet set, net wet, wide base. Caught the basketball in the shooter's pocket, let it go.
Just like it was last night. Oh, wait, that was.
Yeah.
Those two plays right there, and if you didn't know who the player of the game was, we nominated Javen Mayfield. I think it was pretty anonymous. I said it at the table, and I was fairly certain that Corey was in agreement. Those couple of plays right there in a row was what sparked Chapel Hill to kind of finish the game off. Therefore, they were in a lull, I think down 9 at one point in the third quarter. And a couple of those plays were able to spark Chapel Hill and get them to the win. And we talked about it there on the air. I have never seen such a gutsy effort in person like that in the high school level. Now, you've seen some, things at a different level, but this is the high school level. Young man, you could tell. I mean, you watch the video back, and today when I was editing the video out, this is the first time I actually watched it on video, because I didn't actually see what happened there when we were live, because it's just everything's going so fast. And to sit there and able to watch it, he was reaching in and kind of got caught, and you could just see him just run back down the floor with his arm hanging down. And Chapel Hill stayed on defense for a while. They got up, and obviously he couldn't reach up for the rebound but for one arm, and it fumbled it around, and it went back and forth for a couple of times right there by Chapel Hill's basket. And he ended up in great defensive position by happenstance and just stood there and took the charge. And, being the founder of the Swinney School of Flops, it was a great job, because, normally you want to fall back and use that arm to kind of brace your fall, but he only had one. There wasn't bracing the fall, so he took it right and then fell right in his rear. It was perfection for only having one arm.
And you know what's funny? And the funny thing about it, you were saying, I know it wasn't on the clip. You were telling me it's like Corey's and he hadn't said anything. I was still stunned, because I was trying to figure out, okay, are they going to pause the game? Because a lot of times you see a guy, injured, they kind of want to stop the game or something like that. They didn't stop the game at all. Then I'm like, okay, did he fall or what happened? You said, he took a charge. I'm still trying to look and see, is he okay? Is it okay? They're going to pause the game. And next thing you know, boom. He took a charge. I'm like, whoa. I thought it was a blocking foul at first. I'm thinking, oh, my God, this is a blocking foul. But he took a charge. I'm like, oh, my God. Then he come out of the game, and then he comes in. I didn't remember him going back in the game. I can't remember what happened during the time. But I didn't remember him going subbing back in the game.
Well, I know he ran right over to the trainer, and they were
I saw that,
and adjusting, putting his arm, because we commented, and he was going over there, and he was putting it back in place. And, the next thing you know, Chick goes back and forth. But when he came back in, he immediately made an impact. And we talked about it, him stepping up last night, getting big minutes, and as we talked about that, Austin Watkins did not play for personal reasons. So therefore he was put into the starting lineup. And I think immediately he was able to make an impact. playing the point guard, allowing Tyson Berry to slide over to the shooting guard off the ball where he can because naturally I think Jaden Mayfield is a playmaker.
Yeah.
He can shoot, but he's good at getting in the lane and getting gaps, as he did several times, and finding somebody open. And I think that's going to be a help for Tyson Berry. And also, if you remember going back to last season when Berry was unavailable at the end of the season, we talked about how much of a ball hawk Berry was, and that without him in the lineup, we looked lost. We didn't know what to do, and that's when Javen actually moved up to varsity, but he didn't have the experience. He was a freshman. I mean, he's still a good player, but he just wasn't ready for that moment.
He played well.
He played well for what he had.
Yeah, he played well in the Henderson game,
but it just wasn't. It wasn't that he wasn't that kind of player yet. He wasn't ready for
not yet.
The role he's playing right now, But I think the minutes that he got last year that he probably wouldn't have gotten, let's be honest, he wouldn't have gotten those minutes that he would have gotten if things wouldn't have gone the way they did. Right. So as much as it hurt last year, I think it's going to benefit them this year, because if Tyson goes to the bench with foul trouble in a game, now you have another guy that can handle the ball. You didn't have that last year. You had some guys that could dribble but not run the team.
Right.
And so I think you saw that last night, the ability, and plus they can come in and out and give each other breaks. As in, last year, if that sub was made, it was a drop off. You didn't have that. And so I think another player that made some big shots was Will Chetland. We've seen him pull a lot of threes this season. He's got a good stroke, you can tell, but a couple threes he hit late in the game were a big difference as well. That one we just saw from
the three in transition was good.
Mm-hmm. That shot was right down there by us. I mean, it
really was. And like I said on the mic, I saw the play develop. That's the type of shot that you want, in the fast break. I like the fact that he didn't take the ball, dribble it coast to coast. He pitched it ahead. He saw the guy. And on top of that, I'm giving Will Chetland a lot of credit. He ran to a spot in the offense. He got a wide open shot in the corner, and you want to run to your spot. He had enough time to get his feet set, and, Mayfield fired the ball in the shooter's pocket, caught it, fired up, shot the ball, and he just relaxed and shot it. That's the type of shot you want to get on a fast break, especially if you had to post up. But like you said, I mean, minutes are hard to come by when you're a freshman and you're trying to come in and carve your way in the team. He started out on JV last year and got moved up. And next thing you know, his minutes were needed. And, I'm pretty sure, you want to go back and say, oh, we lost in the playoffs. Yeah, now he has that experience. It came, it came over, and he has that experience now. And now you can see that that's coming into play. It's a good problem to have. Not a bad problem. It's a great problem to have. What if this guy goes down? What if this guy's injured? I mean, you got a kid it's a sophomore and is playing starting minutes now. And so you got a backcourt for another year. And then you have he's got another 2 years. So, I mean, that bodes well for the team for the duration. And then on top of that, to me, he's more of a point guard than Tyson Berry is. And there's no knock to Tyson because he's shooting the ball well right now. He's shooting the ball very well.
He was a little off last night. He didn't have as good a game as he's had the last couple. But I think it was more of the whole team was just kind of off there. They caught fire towards the end, but I think we talked about it at halftime. I think we only had made 1 3 at half.
Yeah.
And Kilgore was fine with that. They sat back in their zone, and that's what they wanted us to do, was shoot threes. And we talked about needing to get inside out. And I think some of that was the penetration by Javen Mayfield, and they got down, and Huddleston got some plays inside.
He was big last night late.
It was big, yeah. So I think that really helped him in the second half. We talked about the depth. You can only carry 9 guys right now and 2 freshmen. You've got Cameron Kelly up on varsity right now as a freshman. And, of course, we all know Demetrius, Brisbane. I think those 2 guys are going to be important as we move on, because you're going to need minutes out of them at some point in the late season playoff run. You're going to need those minutes, because if you if you limit yourself to only 7 players and it's aggressive as we play, last night the refs let a lot go. We talked about how physical it was, but you don't know what you're going to get. You may go next week and they may be calling everything, and you get 3 fouls on somebody, and then you get 3 fouls. Those fouls add up. You're going to need those minutes. I think, of course, Brisbane's been up since football's been over. I think he's a nice fit. I don't want to. This is not a slap in the face, but he's a good role player at this point. He plays his role. He's very athletic. I think he plays at the top of the press a lot, or it seems like when he comes in, kind of chasing the ball, which is a good spot for him. He's long and athletic. He's able to do little things here and there. You can see that he's going to be an excellent player, but he doesn't have, like we talked about earlier, he doesn't have to be that. And then of course, you got Cameron Kelly. He's a big, tall, lanky kid, long arms, athletic. If he can get inside and be able to play defense and rebound and do those kind of things and come in and give Huddleston and Cameron Murphy blows. Yeah. Because it's going to be a game where they're going to get fouled. There's going to be a big guy on the other side. It's going to draw a lot of fouls. You're going to need fouls. You're going to need minutes. So I think those 2 guys for me going forward are very important because the rest of your guys we're a pretty veteran team for being as young as we are. I mean, you've got
a lot of playing experience.
Mm-hmm, every single one of these guys have been on the varsity level, except for the 2 freshmen, I believe. Am I correct there? Because Chetland was on the team last year. Didn't see a lot of time, but he was on the team. Of course, Cameron Murphy was.
Yeah, just the 2. Yeah,
I believe so. So you've got 7 returning players on varsity, which is quite a bit. And then to have only 2 of them be seniors. You got 7 underclassmen out of 9 kids. So a lot to look forward to. But this year is a good mix, and they've got a good group to make a run. And as we talk about that, we'll kind of rotate into the next topic, and that is the district standings. I think I've got them here pulled up, and wasn't updated as of last night. We'll kind of cover us there for a minute. Of course, you got Chapel Hill and Bullard 2-0, Henderson 1-0, Kilgore 1-1, Lindale 0-1, and Springfield Cumberland 0-2. What is the first thing you see there when you look at that, Corey?
Well, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm going to take off the bottom 2 teams. Like I said, not to be disrespectful at all. I don't want to say they're shoe-in wins, but of course, everyone's going to battle. But anybody from Lindale, Kilgore on up, it could be any one of those teams. I think Bullard is Bullard's good. I'm gonna say Bullard's good. I haven't seen Henderson play, but I know Henderson's competing better this year. Obviously, Kilgore has a lot of basketball savviness they can play. Lindale's competed well during the preseason, so all of those teams there in that bunch, it could go either way. So it's not a night off at all in district play, and so we've got to, as Coach Marlin always said this, now as the head coach of Lafayette, he's like, win your home games, and then you steal some on the road. That's how you win conference. So take care of home first. If you're at home, take care of home. And then steal a game that you may or may not supposed to win on the road. And that's how you secure and win conference. So we've got to go in. Last year we didn't play very well. We let Bullard come in and sneak one on us at home last year. They came about us on the butt. Lindale, we lost at Lindale late last year too. So we've got to come in and win those basketball games this year, and we can let that happen. So it's a good opportunity for them to come out. I know it's a 2-0 mark, but it's a good opportunity for them to come out and try to shore up some wins. It's a big game this Friday.
And we'd like to welcome the long-lost man, Vincent Johnson.
Oh, he's coming in. Everybody's got the Bulldog on today. Okay.
Yeah, we got our all-match on today. I'm glad to see you're not wearing your Texans hat. Corey would have probably had to give you a little grief on that one.
Yeah.
Hey, I was rooting for you this week, man.
I imagine you would.
So we were just talking about the district standings. I'll flop them back up there, Vince, so you can see them. But here's kind of where everything stands. Chapel Hill and Bullard at the top at 2-0. Pearson right behind at 1-0. Kilgore 1-1. Lindale 0-1. And Springfield and Cumberland at the bottom at 0-2. So it's kind of where everything stands. Did you get to catch the game the other night, the Kilgore game? Any of that
I
one?
watched half of it. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I was only able to watch half, the first half. So
Oh, so you caught the half where there was no announcers.
pretty much.
They had little technical problems last night.
Yeah.
We were fighting that a little bit. It was a frustrating evening with the tech.
I
gear.
jumped back in at one point and I was able to hear y'all, but I wasn't able to watch long.
Okay. Well, basically, we pulled away at the end there, and
Got
did you see
excited
the
at
part?
end.
Did you see the part where Javen Mayfield's shoulder came out of socket? He then proceeded to go down and play defense with one arm, and it fumbled around. Ended up taking a charge with one arm. Then he went out of the game, got his shoulder put back in place, and also came back in, made a big three, and then made a great pass to the corner for Will Chetland for 3, all within a stretch of about.
Honestly,
15 minutes.
I'm trying to think. Maybe I did see it, but I didn't notice what was going on.
Right.
Because when you watching it, from work, at home, and you don't get all the stuff that's going on the court like you do.
So when you don't come to the game and actually watch
there
the
we go.
game at the
Wow,
game,
Wow.
then you don't get the whole.
I told you, y'all are the basketball experts. Man. Call me when they play football again. Are we playing football this spring? What we doing?
Hey, Lindale this Friday night, Vincent Johnson.
Huh?
Lindale this Friday night. It's a big one.
Lindale and this Friday, and you know what's happening on Tuesday.
And then
I put Tuesday on my calendar. I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's gonna get deleted by somebody. Somebody's gonna delete it off your calendar. You watch. Here you go. Or change the time. Change the time on there.
That's a big important game.
Where's that Tuesday game at?
It's in one of those Tyler schools. Oh, they're in North Tyler, I think. I think they're called the Lions.
Lions Den.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess in my head I was thinking it was at Chapel Hill, but
no, it's over there. It's
bad.
over in.
It kind of set with me. I was like, wait a minute. You know what? I don't think I do know where it's at. Maybe I should ask first.
So let's since we're talking about standings, we're not gonna forget about the girls. I don't have a graphic for them, but I've got them pulled up, and it looks very similar to last year. And I don't know if you remember this, Corey, but basically Bullard, Lindale, and Chapel Hill just beat the hound dog out of everybody else.
Yeah,
and basically right now it's got Bullard at 2-0, but I'm fairly certain that they're 3-0 along with Lindale, and then Chapel Hill's 4-0. So basically, Chapel Hill has beat Henderson, Cumberland, Kilgore, and Spring Hill all below them. And so what's left on their schedule is Lindale and Bullard. And this is kind of what happened last year. Same exact scenario. So it looks like it's going to be the same thing this year. And I talked to Coach Riley yesterday. We came in and they had played in the afternoon and asked him how they did. He said, we sucked. And I was like, did y'all not win? He said, oh, we won. So they won. They won, but he was not happy with the performance. I don't know exactly. Obviously, we weren't there. I don't know what happened, but he was not happy with the way they played. And in one hand, you say a win's a win, but then on the other hand, who he's got coming up on his schedule, you're not going to be able to just go into Lindale and Bullard. As a girls, they're both perennial powers, and the girls' side, Bullard's always. They're up to the top and ranked up. Have been ranked a lot over the last 10 or 15 years. And Lindale, of course, is always good. So I'm sure that a lot of that is he's looking at these games coming up and he knows they're going to have to play better. So
well, yeah, I mean, you want your team to play better, but at the end of the day, the outcome is a W. This is, the sandwich method, praise, criticize, praise. Happy we got a win. I'm not too fond of how we play, but a win is a win. And you can't change that at the moment. You can't change the past, but you have to reiterate everything. Like, listen, we can't go in and beat a team. Well, how can we expect to beat a team that could be or should be better than us if we're playing like this? You can't turn the ball over. We can't miss wide open layups. We can't, give up transition baskets. We can't miss. We can't have mishaps on the defensive end. We can't lose defensive assignments. A lot of these things happen on the road. We can't miss free throws. So a lot of those things can be shored up. But you want to regain focus and you want to go in and take one of those games out. At least if you can get a split, we'll take a split. At least win one the first round. At least try to get a good lead the first round of the games. That way you have something to look forward to in the second half.
Yeah, I believe Chapel Hill did win. I think they beat Lindale last year the first round through, and then ended up losing to both Bullard and Lindale, I think, in the second round. I don't remember exactly. I may be wrong, but I feel like they stole one that first round and put themselves. I think they all split. I think they were all tied going into the second round of district, and then Chapel Hill lost both games and ended up being third. So yeah, I think that's how. So Chapel Hill's got it. They're in a good spot, right where they want to be, and they'll be at home Friday night in Bulldog Gymnasium against Lindale. So just wanted to make sure we mentioned the girls because we don't get to cover them, but we do still support our girls and would like to be able to cover some playoff games if it works out that way. I got one chat here. Somebody's asking who beat Lindale. Kilgore beat Lindale in game 1 of district play. So that answers whoever's question.
It was not bad. It was not a bad. Well coached.
I think it was Kevin Huddleston. So that's who beat Kilgore. So thanks for the question, Kevin. I also have saying Kelly's a sophomore. So I was given freshman, so I don't know. I'm not sure, but I was told he was a freshman. So just going by the information I was given, he just kind of was added to the roster last minute. So anyway, so that being said, we're going to move on to the week 3 and 4, or game 3 and 4. I call it week, but it's for basketball. We're just on game 3 and 4. So it's going to be Friday night. The games in our district will be Bullard at Kilgore, which will be a good game. You've got a lot on the line there. Kilgore at 1-1, Bullard at 2-0. So that's a big game right there for both of those teams. It'll be Bullard's first test of the district season as they've beaten Cumberland and Spring Hill, the two teams at the bottom so far. Now, as you know, Bullard has gotten some, state ranking. I'm not sure if they're actually ranked, but they've gotten some, notice from on the state level. So this will be a chance right here to see how they compare against some of the other top teams in the district, as they'll have a little bit tougher schedule the second half of district play.
Absolutely.
Of course, then
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and we'll try to, if we can, we'll be trying to keep up with the score. If we can locate a score on those games, we'll keep you updated on Bulldog Sports Network as we have Chapel Hill and Lindale. So the second game will be Henderson at Cumberland. I expect Henderson to take that one. Haven't seen Cumberland. They just don't have much depth. They've got, a solid starting group, but not much else after. Coach Sampson over there in his, was it second season, third season at Cumberland. So he's had some tough goes. Had a player ruled ineligible. I don't know if he was able to play again yet. They were trying to appeal that. But anyway, that's a tough loss as well. So, and then, of course, that leaves Chapel Hill at Lindale Friday night for week 3. Corey, how do you see this guy? I haven't seen Lindale play much this year. I don't know if you've seen any of their film.
I've seen they got a pretty good shooter. The guy hit 7 3-pointers in the Wagstaff tournament. So I mean, they got some. They're not going to be short of shooting the basketball like they were. Kind of like
they 0-2 though, right?
No, they're 2-0.
They're 0-1 in district play.
Yeah.
So they had a bye. They were actually out. They were scouting last night. They were in Chapel Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, they were out scouting last night again, like they did last year. As far as district matchups go, you want to be prepared. Lindale is always prepared every time we play them, and you want to come in with a solid game plan. and you want to come in and be focused. You know, and I'm gonna reference football for a second. We still didn't win district. We got further, but we still didn't win district. And so somebody's got to come ahead and say, let's get a district. Let's win a district title. If this is the opportunity for them to win district, you got to get over this hump first. I know you take it a game at a time, and to me, honestly, I thought our team was the best team in district last year, and we kind of let some games slip away, and so we don't have the depth as we had last year. But I think, like I said, over the summer, those guys played a lot of basketball games, and they had a lot of camaraderie, and that's paid dividends for football, and it's paying dividends for basketball because I see a lot of different style of play that they're playing right now. Obviously, I alluded to Tyson Berry shooting the basketball better. I see David Mayfield playing a lot better. I see a lot of guys playing with a lot more confidence. So, the more basketball you play, the better you get. So, this is an opportunity for them to come back and play better against a very well coached Lindale basketball team. And so, I think it's going to be a good game. And hopefully, I'm not so much worried about the offensive end, but the defensive end, because the game that we played last night against Kilgore, they're not going to call it that way in Lindale.
No,
So-
no, they're not.
Aggressive.
We're not going to be able to do that aggressive. They're going to be their whistle's going to be ready to blow a lot. So I definitely agree with you on that. We've got the next week or the next. I keep saying week. I'm in football mode. I got to get this two games in a week. The
Right.
next game will be game 4 in district. Chapel Hill actually has that bye, so it's a perfect split. You got they got 3 games, then have a bye, and they have 3 more. So, but they chose, hey, why not pick up a game against Tyler High? They'll
Why
be
not?
playing Tyler High, and we'll talk about that one here in a minute. Let's look at the other district games. There's one in particular that I will be watching for, and that's going to be Lindale at Bullard. I think that game will determine who's going to challenge us at the top of the district. I still think Henderson has an outside chance. I think maybe they're the 4th seed if I was just to guess, just by past performance / just I think I'm just going to say they're 4th if I was to just do a ranking right now of who I thought was up there. I think Kilgore and Lindale and Bullard are all in that 2 and 3 spot. Okay, so somebody's getting left out. Okay, so it could be Henderson, but right now, until they play some other teams, it's going to be hard to say because right now all they've beaten is Spring Hill, and we know Spring Hill is a little down. I don't know what it is, but they used to have
Solid
a
shooter.
lot better competition.
Who else they played though?
Who's that? Spring Hill?
No. Henderson.
Well, you're talking about like the regular season schedule?
Yeah.
I
I mean, to think that
they are 10 and 12 on the season. Okay.
okay.
So they have a losing record.
Any important wins or
Henderson they've beaten Rusk, they beat Pleasant Grove,
That's a good
they've
win.
beaten Dallas Christian, they've beaten Van by 11. In comparison to we beat them by what 30?
30,
The
40,
first,
40?
and that was the first game that we had our players back,
We had everybody. Yeah.
but we won by 30. They beat Grace, Rains, Sunnyvale, Troop, but they beat Troop by 4. So they beat West Rusk. They lost to Nacogdoches very badly. They lost to Carthage. And they beat Spring Hill by 8. Now, I don't know.
So
I
it
mean-
sounds like their wins don't really hold a lot of weight, but
But I said, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
no. Well, I was just gonna say that it sounds like their wins don't seem to hold as much weight as their losses do. Or even some of their wins are close wins that probably shouldn't have been as close.
They're not impressive wins. That's what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. That's
Are you
what I'm
good?
saying. They're not impressive.
Well, and this Tuesday's game, I think, is going to be a measuring stick for Henderson. Okay, so that they have Kilgore at home. Okay, we just saw Kilgore play. We know that they can compete. They have a very good head coach. I think that's going to be kind of determining. I think Tuesday night is not only going to be important for us, as that we have a big rivalry game with a team across the way, but Lindell Bullard and Kilgore Henderson. If we didn't have a game, I'd like to be at one of those. I think those are they're gonna be they're gonna determine like how the seeds are gonna start falling and who's gonna be where.
I'm gonna step out on the limb. I'm thinking this is gonna be Kilgore. I from measuring the team last year, they're not lacking any kind of athleticism. And typically, if your football team didn't do well, your basketball team typically does well. I don't want to look at the record as 10-12. You know, they're 2-0 in district.
You look at Kilgore. They're 5-19.
Yeah, so I don't, and they didn't play like a 5-19 basketball team last night.
No,
So I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at their preseason record or pre-district record and say, "Oh, this team, it looks good to win 20 games." Absolutely, you go, out of 30 games, you win 20. It looks great, but if you didn't play anybody, if you hadn't competed, or some things happen, that doesn't bode well. So. I'm anxious to see how well they compete. Now, on top of that, out of 22 games that they played or 18 games that they played before district, who knows that have they competed well? I mean, the score doesn't indicate that. Those kids may have gotten better. That's a process of throughout the season. You want to continue to get better. And so by the time you get to district, that competition that you play in district, we've lost to better teams. You know what I'm saying? And we've beaten, worse teams. So, that kind of is a mixture of how you want to, mix it together. And then you put it all together on the plate in the district, and they may compete. For them, if they finish above 500 or finish in the top 4, I think that's an accomplishment. But they're sneaky. I'm going to put a star on it. That's not going to be easy out.
Yeah, should be a good game. So that brings us to Chapel Hill, Tyler High. Thoughts?
Did you want to go?
and on the record, Vincent Johnson on guest commentary for that game.
Well, I was going to pitch this. I was going to say if the guys from That's So Dope could possibly do some kind of guest commentary during halftime, and just kind of do a little thing. Maybe JD will come out. I heard it may be a JD sighting. Maybe we can kind of fill in and do maybe a halftime commentary about the game.
So this mystery JD actually get to meet him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a busy man. He's a very busy man.
He's a busy man.
He's a very busy man. Yeah. Shout out to JD.
His life is.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. That's the best way I can put it. It's just,
But yeah, no. Like you said, beat them. This is a cultural game, a culture shock game, a culture game like the community. We can't play White House. We haven't played Robert E. Lee forgive me, Legacy. We haven't played Legacy in a long time. We hadn't played, as far as I can remember, we hadn't played, Tyler High. We never played Tyler High if you want to get technical. So I think this is a good game, good matchup. We played them over the summer at Chapel Hill, and it was a good.
I don't know what they had. I don't know if I care, but I don't know what they had.
They're competing. They're going to compete. I have no doubt in my mind that Coach Johnson is going to have those guys competing. And this is an alma mater game. You have a old John Tyler High graduate versus Chapel Hill graduate. So this is one for the books, man. And who knows? I just want to see him compete.
A lot of interesting things. A lot of storylines in this one.
There's a lot of storylines in this game, man. lot of I don't want to say bragging rights, but it's one of those games where you like to see the kids compete because I'm pretty sure if we played you guys we blah blah blah, or if we played you, let's put all it aside, let's just play.
Yeah.
You get a chance to compete, and it's a
And
big game in between district. Let's go.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just call out White House right now. Say, White House, get on the schedule again. I'm still calling you out. Football, basketball, get on the schedule.
Let's play at UT Tyler, not TJC. Let's play at UT Tyler. Let's start a new tradition.
Hey, that's fine with me. We can play on the street court. That's all I care. I just want to see the game.
Oh man, that's it, man. That's what.
Gotta play at least once.
Basketball is one of those sports where you're supposed to just be able to just have a ball and just come play. It's hard to put together a football game and you got the recuperation between games and all. Basketball is supposed to be that sport where it's just like, nah, we got the ball, we got the hoops, let's go. That's the way I've always seen basketball. And just I don't understand when people are like, nah, I'm good. No, you're not.
Blevins with the chat here. So we should come out first place in the district. Thanks for joining us tonight, Chris.
I agree.
We should. And it's not going to be a cakewalk. I can tell you that.
Definitely not picking for the game this Friday.
Who's that?
That's Chris. He's not picking for this Friday's game. Sure, well, we're gonna win Friday night.
You got ties to Lindale?
It's the revenge game in Lindale. Corey, you didn't go to Lindale last year, did you?
Oh, I didn't go to Lindale. I was at work, but that has changed.
Anyway. Corey got a new job. It's a cushy job.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
A lot more free
sure, don't tell nobody that. Maybe I don't want anybody to business.
So does that mean you can get us a sponsorship?
Maybe the cast that's so dope is gonna start getting paid now. Hold up. Yeah, everybody making money now.
Sponsorship.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far.
Give me my money. Give me my coach. I need my coin.
I need
my coin.
Need some pesos.
Okay, so Chris was confused. He said he thought it was the Tyler High game. He thought.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
So yeah, Tyler High game is Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
And listen, if you guys are listening, watching, come to the game.
Yeah.
I suspect that game will be probably one of the highest ones we've had. That's probably going to stream. I suspect it being
and share it if you know somebody that might want to watch it, share it.
We've got Tyler High. You don't have to be at Chapel Hill playing to share the game. We want Tyler people to watch the game too. Or Tyler people all live in Tyler, but I'm just saying, we want everyone that's in the other, Tyler High to watch the game too and stream it. So this is good marketing for the brand. So
yeah, it should be a good one, and we should have a pretty good turnout, like Corey said. It should be a well watched game.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Brett's like, yeah. Now the bad thing is we don't get a chance to call the White House game, but that game like that, I would probably call a handful of people out. I'm pretty sure Brett would too, just to be on the show that day.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see a lot of our alumni out for this one, because even though there's not really a rivalry there is. There's not like we've played each other over the years, but it's just one of those things. It's like I don't know what to call it, but it's like that game that you wanted for so long, and then now it's on the schedule.
Yeah, it's not a hateful rivalry. It's we know that it's going to be a competition some kind of way. It
should be a good one.
So that's one of those things we have to, it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting come next Tuesday. So But I do want to say this about the Lindale game. So this is a game we're actually going to have to come out and play, obviously. I really want them to come out. I really want them to come and get this win. It's a big game, and not just on paper, but it's a big game for those kids to come out and play. That's a game they lost in Lindale last year, and it really was a game that we could have had, and they didn't play very well in the second half. They played better in the second half and didn't play so well in the first half. So this is a game we want to come out and get a close win. But, man, you got to get a win on the road. This is important, especially early in the district play. I think last year we played them last in the first round of district play, and then we ended up playing them last in the second part. So, this is an opportunity to come out and get a good win. And you guys kind of got some momentum. Like I said, Kilgore came out and played well last night, and I think we ended the game well. We didn't shoot the ball too well, but I'm not worried about us shooting the ball. I'm worried about us playing defense. Defensive rebounding, and limiting them to one possession. One shot, one possession, getting out transition, scoring easy baskets, getting back on defense. That's what I'm missing in, not getting into foul trouble. So,
Yep.
that's
So
what
it
I'm looking
should be a good one. Well, y'all got anything else on the hoops topic or?
for. Not Chapel Hill Hoops. Shout out to Dirk. They retired his jersey today. So, Mavericks got to win. So, that's always good. It's a good day already.
Yeah. Hey, that is a good day.
It's the man.
Did the Heat win or no? Who's been rooting for these days? Oh, the Phoenix. That's right.
I don't know who he's rooting for. The Heat, Phoenix. I mean, Steve Nash. I don't know.
Bandwagon fan. Oh,
Listen, I ain't on no bandwagon. I grew up.
No, he's a Laker fan, isn't he?
Oh,
He likes LeBron. He's a LeBron man.
No, that's Corey that like LeBron.
I do
Yeah.
like LeBron. I'm
You
LeBron.
don't talk about LeBron around Corey. He'll go nuts.
You listen. You got to get that man his flowers. Don't
Flowers.
disrespect.
He gives himself flowers. He's like, is he?
Listen, you cannot.
I think he thinks he created the whole planet, man. He thinks he is the god of all gods.
I will say this: name a number one draft pick that has lived up to the hype the past 20 years.
Man, I can't believe we hear
Hasn't
Hype.
been one. It hasn't been one.
Hype of
It hasn't
what?
been one.
How to pass it in the game instead of shoot? How to choke?
He's
Don't
4 of 9
engage with
He's got
Kelly.
stats. He's got
He's gonna
stats
be
out of
here
his
all
but that
night.
don't matter. He can't
be
win
here
the
all
big game
night.
unless he has all these helpers. He
I'm
had
just telling you.
Dwayne Wade winning for him, and
Don't engage.
Miami.
with-
he
gonna-
had
he
who
gonna
else
be
was
here
it?
all
Oh,
night.
who was that guy?
Don't let it go.
Talking about
what's his
Chris
name?
Bosh.
No, it wasn't Bosch. No. He's not. I don't even think the guy's in the league anymore.
Oh, I just want to say Jesus Shuttlesworth. Which is
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
yeah. I mean, I
No,
can't.
the point guard that took all the shots at the end when he included
talking about
Kyrie
Kyrie?
Irving.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving won that series.
Well, he did, but they
But,
his shot won the series. LeBron James played like a
Listen,
man possessed.
I have respect for LeBron. His stats are amazing. I just don't like him personally. I don't think he's as good as everyone thinks he is as far as like on the championship level. He's not.
He's not a Michael Jordan. I've already said this. He's more of a Magic Johnson than a Michael Jordan. He will go down as statistically the best basketball player that ever played the game. That's all I'm saying. Statistically.
Yeah, stats. Yeah, it's.
I mean,
it's
it is
great.
what it is. That's
He
the
started
era.
when he was 18, and he's played half his life now.
LeBron James is trash, man.
The era
Yeah.
of greats is over. There's no more era of greats. It's just
No, there is. You just don't want to look at him. Steph Curry out here doing things that
Yeah,
no man
Steph Curry is a far better. When you look back 20 years, Steph Curry's accomplished way more than LeBron James.
And all people have done
And-
since he showed up is try to discredit him at every.
And Steph Curry he's a nice human being,
I like
Which
Steph
would-
Curry. I really do
which
like
to
Steph
me-
Curry.
which to me that makes up for it.
It does.
He puts his faith up there. He's a good person and he's a good teammate. LeBron
Just
James,
Just because LeBron James is going to trade anybody away, it doesn't make him a bad individual. I mean, he'll
Okay.
trade. See,
I'm
the
trading sides.
you can't say that it's LeBron James internet.
He probably kicked me off the internet. He probably did.
And LeBron kicked him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LeBron like cut his
Listen,
feet.
He says, "Hey,
That's what I was just saying. If he doesn't like the way you're playing, he just gets you fired. Who
he'll,
wants to play with somebody like
you
that?
trade you. He'll just trade you away.
What's the difference, man? That's the same
Well,
thing. Like, hey, I don't like the way you're playing. Let me just get rid of you.
That's the name of the game. Now I'm not a
saying,
Steph Curry goes around. He makes the guys better around him, man.
There was a stat saying LeBron had more players than any other player in the NBA.
No doubt.
He's been responsible for more trades. I'll say it that way. I think at the time, when he was in Cleveland, and I think at the time they said he was responsible for like over 45 different trades while he was on a team.
All I'm saying is
that was just unheard of. The next person that was close was like at like around 15 or something like that, or 20 or something.
all I'm saying is this:
He was more than double.
with LeBron James, you're almost guaranteed to go to the NBA Finals.
Go to the NBA
I'm
Finals and lose most of the time.
Like I told you before,
Say, go to the NBA Finals.
That's so dope show. I'm not saying LeBron ain't great. What I'll tell you is this: if I took all that energy I put into LeBron James, and I did that for Kevin Durant, or if I did that for Damian Lillard, there's a host of other people. If I had done that for, if I did that for your boy, your boy at the Mavs, I can't call his name.
Talking about Luka the Don.
Yeah, Luka. If I'd have done that, if I put all that energy into Luka, would I have the same outcome? Maybe. I might. I mean, look at all the trades. Some don't work out. They don't think they.
Luka's going to be right there.
They're just moving on, and they don't do that with nobody else.
Luka's stats, he might compete with LeBron by the time it's all said and done on some of those stats.
He also may compete with Rasheed Wallace for the most technical fouls, the most technicals for anybody else in the NBA too.
He can't.
I mean,
but
I mean, it's LeBron. I mean, come on, this is his NBA now. Unfortunately, this is his. I didn't.
No, he's over the hill.
I mean, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that he's my favorite basketball player in the NBA. I'm recognizing his greatness as it is at this point in time. Whether people like it or not, he is a great basketball player in the NBA, and he'll be a Hall of Famer.
He's a career killer. Look at what he did to Westbrook. And Westbrook's having triple doubles out the kazoo. He goes to the Lakers, and now all of a sudden he's like trash.
Hey, there was a stat one time that came out about LeBron that said that you don't. Remember we talked about the two tours. You gotta go back to the show. That's where you can go watch the old episodes, and that's so dope. Because I don't remember I can't remember the name of the guy who dropped the stat, but he was saying that statistically speaking, he don't make any of those players. At that time, he didn't make any of those players better than him. Statistically, I can't even say the word. But anyway, when you look at their numbers, they were worse when he was on the floor. Every time.
Because it's all about LeBron.
When they got off the floor, that's when they were able to produce. And the numbers don't lie.
He don't want anybody else to show him up. He don't want anybody else to show him up.
They don't tell the whole story. So I can't.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this real quick. And I'm gonna leave it alone. I watched somebody on Facebook talk about this situation, and he said that LeBron is great, but they'll never be considered in the likes of Jordan or Kobe to me, because the only thing that stands in LeBron's way of ever being that top echelon type player, nobody greater than him, was Steph Curry. He said at the end of the day, Steph is the reason he don't have more rings. And every one Steph got was against him. And he said, name a time somebody beat Michael Jordan like that. Name that one player that Kobe couldn't beat like that. He said they don't exist. But for LeBron James, Steph Curry is the reason why he don't have more. Which means Steph Curry is that person.
Well, Steph Curry, everybody wants to go play with Steph Curry. Look at Durant. Look at Durant. He went over and sacrificed a lot of his stats and played with Steph Curry this couple of years. And
again, Durant would have played with anybody as long as he got away from Russ.
Well, true, but I mean,
Russ was.
He went to where he knew he could play, and
Russ was LeBron. Russ was LeBron. He was a low-key LeBron.
I'm gonna make a lot of people very upset when I'm gonna say this about Russell Westbrook.
Here we go.
And I've said this over and over and over again. I like Russell Westbrook as a person. I think he's a good guy. Russell Westbrook, his main ability, he's like the Wolverine of the X-Men. He's not really good at anything. He doesn't have a significant power. He's really athletic. Wolverine doesn't do, he heals. Okay, great. He doesn't shoot anything out of his eyes. He doesn't have any, superhuman strength. He just heals but that's his only superpower. The only superpower Russell Westbrook has is he's really athletic. He doesn't hit ball well. He doesn't pass the ball. He's not a great passer. He's not he doesn't do one thing significantly better than anybody else. LeBron James is a superior passer, and his IQ is on 1,000. Steph Curry shoots the ball better. Everybody has a specific skill. Russell Westbrook didn't have one. So where does he fit? I mean, that's been my thing.
He's got to have the right team around him.
Yeah, it's like he can't. But it's also the thing, he can't play with better players. Like, he's not been able to play and do well with better players as he progressed. Everybody else in the NBA, if you look at it, has gotten progressively better at certain skills.
So has LeBron James gotten better at playing with others?
I mean, he shoots the ball better. They play with LeBron James. He doesn't have to play with anybody else.
What does he do all day? He shoots all day. He doesn't do anything else. He better get better. I mean, if I was a basketball player and that's all I did all day is shoot balls, shoot, I probably would get better too.
I mean, there's a thing. When LeBron James passes, you shoot it. If he passes you the ball, you shoot it. You don't give it back. If he doesn't pass you the ball, you stand and rebound.
He's gonna pass in the fourth quarter. He ain't gonna shoot at the end of the game.
I don't even like how you describe his play, because even your description of his play itself.
It's not. It's the way Corey wants it.
I'm just giving you facts. Why just
no? That's not facts. So you're telling me that LeBron James clutch? What's his clutch rating on NBA Jam or NBA whatever NBA 2K? His clutch rating is like in the low area, like teens.
He draws a double team, draws a triple team, and he kicks it out. Somebody else
passes because he doesn't want to take the shot.
I wouldn't want to take it either.
He's afraid to miss. He's the opposite of Jordan. Jordan was what was the saying he had? If you're afraid to shoot and you're gonna miss, you can't. I don't know. I can't remember what the saying. Yeah, that's it. That's the saying right there. LeBron's the opposite. He don't have to. If he passes, then it's on somebody else's fault, not him. Oh well, that guy should have made it. It wasn't my fault. I passed him open.
Well, Scottie
Pippen. All his fans will say the same thing.
Scottie Pippen has diffused all of it. So Michael Jordan is just
not enough help. But if he's the greatest player ever, he don't need a help.
Oh. He didn't complain when Curry was missing buckets, when Kukoc was missing buckets, when Pippen wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't complaining. He just sucked it up.
No, he didn't suck anything up. You best believe Michael Jordan didn't suck anything up. You was gonna see him in the locker room. You miss a wide open shot.
Well, yeah, he gonna handle that too. Just like Kobe.
But he wasn't scared to take that shot. That's for sure.
Oh, not at all. Absolutely not. He lived for that moment. Neither was Kobe. Neither was Dirk.
Luka is that way now.
Yeah, neither's Luka. LeBron James, like I said, he's more of a Magic Johnson. He don't have that dog in him. You don't have a killer instinct. It's okay.
He's not even Magic. Magic can make a play at the end.
Okay, he's more of a Houdini. I mean, come on. He may not be Magic. He's more of a Houdini.
I'm not saying throw the whole player away. I do see value.
He's a very good player, but he's had a lot of help to win where he's been. You gotta remember when he was in Cleveland at first, and he didn't have anybody.
If all of the LeBron fans could admit the things that I'm talking about, I don't even know if I would even have a problem with it at all. But the problem is,
there we go, Chris.
Put LeBron James on this pedestal.
All right, here we go, Vince. Chris has got a good statement right here. LeBron is Magic Johnson's top player, but Magic was clutch. LeBron is not clutch. Exactly.
Magic was clutch.
Hit it on the nail.
You never hear me say LeBron is clutch because he's not clutch. He's not that guy. He's hit game-winning shots, not that many. Not in the playoffs, not when it counted. I got you. But as far as the prototypical player that he's not Michael Jordan, he's more Magic Johnson. His greatest ability is his passing, his IQ. That's LeBron James' game. He may be the best passer in the NBA right now, hands down. And he's
His great
more
ability
point guard
is
than
his
anything.
GM ability. Be able to
GM.
manage a team.
Exactly.
GM.
move
Hey, man, what you
people
hating,
around.
man?
He may be. Hey, Vince. He may be the only player GM in history.
That's the only time I've ever seen somebody go to Cleveland and wrote a letter.
Cleveland.
Hey, I'm coming to Cleveland, guys.
It's
I ain't got
Cleveland.
no contract. I'm just coming to Cleveland. And drop names in a letter, and everybody he didn't mention got traded. Ain't that amazing?
That's
I
power.
don't forget that kind of stuff.
Power. Because if you get me, guess where I'm going? I'm going to the finals. That's
Well-
power.
Well, he went to the Lakers to resurrect this historic franchise, and he's done nothing but put them in the toilet so
What?
far.
I
He's
don't
got
wanna say-
Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is one of the best big men in the NBA.
Anthony Davis is always
He's ruined him. He's ruined him.
No, injuries ruin
I
Anthony
will
Davis.
say that people get around LeBron, and the fans seem to pick those players apart. Because everybody's been knowing Anthony Davis stay hurt, but it's only became a problem when he got with LeBron James. Nobody ever questioned, his
Remember I told
longevity until he got to LeBron.
Remember I told you you can't talk basketball with fans. You can't discuss sports with fans. You can't do it.
You can, but
You're
What are y'all
frustrated.
thinking about? I was going to ask y'all, what do y'all think about the playoff picture so far for football?
well, I'm wearing my Rams colors this weekend
You can wear the Rams colors
With
all
the-
day.
Boy,
because my Texans. I try to pull for the Texans, and they couldn't do one thing for me.
You know what?
Do
It
one
don't even
thing.
matter.
They should have
don't
played
even matter. You
Deshaun
can
Watson.
say
They
what
should
you
have put
You can say
Deshaun
what you
Watson
want.
in the game.
You can say what you want, but it ain't gonna help. It ain't gonna help Dallas Cowboys because Green Bay is sitting on top of a mountain.
I
right
don't.
now.
I
I'm
already
not
told
worried
you.
about Green Bay.
And ain't nobody
I'm
taking them down.
Beat
I'm
Philly.
not worried about Green Bay. We're going to have to play Arizona again. Now we're going to put ourselves down in the
That's
4th
true.
spot.
That's true.
We're going to play them at home, and Kyler Murray can't lose at AT&T Stadium. So that's what I'm worried about. I ain't worried about Green Bay.
I told my family on over the holidays when Kyler Murray lost that game. I said, y'all better hope he win this one because if he don't, he gonna give Dallas all he can handle next week. And he sure did show up.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't know if y'all have heard this or not, but Micah Parsons has been tested positive for COVID. He's out for Sunday's game or Saturday's game.
So
Didn't y'all have somebody tear the ACL?
Was that Neal? Was that the other linebacker? He's hurt.
it was a
I don't
wide
know.
receiver. It was a wide
It was-
receiver.
Oh
what's
no,
the name?
it was 13.
Yeah,
I can think his
I
name
can't
now.
call his name. I just kind of briefly heard that. I didn't
Yeah.
watch all that game.
I sent y'all the text message about the Cowboys in the playoff games. Like what playoff teams have they beaten this year?
Okay, so I didn't respond to that because there's a lot of teams now. So Philadelphia, we've already beat them once. They're in. Okay.
Philly is in. I can't believe they got there. But
One
okay.
Philly's in, and y'all beat New England.
There's some other ones.
That's
Now,
it.
I will give them that. New England is a good one because New England is hot right now.
They are hot right now. They barely beat New England. Barely beat New
Are
England.
you gonna count? I was looking at your 49ers schedule, and y'all don't beat too many either. So what are you over here chit chatting about?
We've been hurting most of the year. I'm not worried about
Brett
that.
be
We
deflected,
struggling.
boy.
Hurting.
That's all right. I know who y'all can't beat.
Don't matter. Hey,
It does matter.
we're in the dance. That's all I'm saying right now. And you ain't
You-
there yet. So
You in the dance,
hold
but
your
your dance
talking.
ugly.
hold your talking because then you're gonna be playing. If y'all get in it, they're gonna be playing either What?
Green Bay don't want to see us either.
You don't play Green Bay. They got to buy Rams or Tampa
Rams
Bay.
can't
Tom
beat us.
Brady will take care of you. My boy
Tampa
Tom
Bay-
Brady will take care of you.
Tampa Bay is less of a threat with all the wide receivers hurt, so I'm not worried about them. Dallas Cowboys definitely don't want to see us because our defense is better.
All
So,
right, whatever.
I
Our
mean,
defense is better. Did you say your defense is better?
I'm saying our defense is playing better right now.
Right now?
We playing better competition. We playing better competition. Who y'all playing? Who we
You
playing?
just played your division. What kind of competition you want us to play? Cowboys played absolutely horrible and almost won that game. Dak doesn't fumble that ball, they probably win. And we played terrible.
Yeah, I've been playing terrible lately, but it's except for Washington. I think they're bad.
We beat 56-14.
Y'all demolished Washington, the non-playoff football. So I got you. Okay.
It don't matter. They were still in the hunt. They were
non-playoffs.
They were still in the hunt. They were still in the hunt until we knocked them out. So don't.
Broncos beat y'all.
Who was still in the hunt?
Washington was still technically in the playoff hunt. We eliminated them.
Not the playoff.
They had a lot of injuries. And I was trying to tell my folks.
So here we go. The Cowboys.
They just had a lot of injuries when it came time to play.
The Cowboys beat the Saints. The Saints have a chance to make the playoffs. So that could be another one. Okay. Let's see who else we got here. We've lost. Our losses were quality. We lost to the Chiefs. They're in the playoffs. So I mean, it's not like we had any bad losses. You've had some bad. We want to go look at the 49ers losses.
The Denver game was a bad.
The 49ers losses. We also beat the Bengals in Cincinnati. We beat LA and San Francisco. We beat the Eagles in Philly.
Eagles didn't get. Hold on. Let me because I'm gonna be fair here. Now the Eagles didn't come on till like 2 weeks ago.
We beat the Eagles. They beat them early too. I don't want to hear that. They're a playoff team. So we added
they were riding the fence for a long
beat
time.
the Chargers. We beat the Chargers. They have a chance to make the playoffs.
Okay, I give them that. They did beat the Chargers.
And not in the playoffs yet. Not in the playoffs yet.
But they have a chance.
Believe in the Chargers
not in the playoffs. I'm talking about teams that are in the playoffs. Teams that have clinched the
playoffs. That's two more. That's two more that could be added in.
Though. They're not in the hunt. They in.
Oh, they're in the final.
They can fall out. They can fall out. They still got to beat the 49. The Raiders. But they in.
I think it's win and get in for both of the Raiders or the Chargers. It's win and get in.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, there's a couple extra games right there. Now, we can only play who's on our schedule, Corey. It's not like we picked our schedule.
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you want to go compare your schedule and see that it's any better, I mean, you're in a division with the Rams and the Cardinals. You want to count those as tough games, but I don't know that anybody else on your schedule is that. Let's see.
Colts are pretty good.
You got beat by the Colts, okay. You beat the Eagles like way early by 6. Y'all barely beat them. You played the Packers hard, but they weren't playing well at that point in the season. Not like they are right now. So
we got Green Bay's number. I'm not worried about Green Bay.
Yeah,
okay. Not right. You beat the Lions by 8. That was a good win for you.
Yeah.
Bears. Okay. Lost to the Cardinals there.
The
lowly Seahawks beat y'all.
I
mean, the Rams beat you, of course.
No, we actually beat the Rams.
Well, in that game, you might have beat them in one out. You played them twice. You haven't. No, you lost. No, never mind. You did beat the Rams.
The Rams.
Correct that. I'm thinking of this week that y'all lost the Rams. Lost to the Titans. You beat the Texans. Texans, that was a quality win. You got a Texans and a Jaguars win. Those are like bye weeks.
Hey, you know, our division's tough. We will take a bye week.
Your division's tough. You got 2 teams.
We'll have 3 teams in the playoffs. We have 3 teams in the playoffs.
If you beat the Rams,
we'll beat the Rams. I'm not worried about the
or New Orleans loses.
We'll beat the Rams. I'm not worried about the Rams.
Beat the Rams.
We'll get in the playoff. We'll get in the dance. Or now, New Orleans loses. If New Orleans loses, we'll win. We're in the playoffs anyway. So either we win, secured, or New Orleans loses, we're in the playoffs. I'm just saying. It's tough. We're gonna compete.
Yeah, I think the Saints have a pretty good chance of winning. They're playing the Falcons.
They do
at home. So I think it's going to come down to that game.
We could have clinched it, but they beat the Carolina Panthers. But Falcons, they can come out and beat. They could definitely beat New Orleans. I don't see them not beating New Orleans. So, but either way it goes, we got a good chance. I'd bet them beating New Orleans than us beating the Rams, but I still think we got the Rams number.
Okay. So who's starting quarterback this week? Is it Jimmy G?
No, it's gonna be Trey Lance this week.
So rookie quarterback, you think you got a chance to win
We're a running football team, man.
on the road?
They
On
can't
the
stop
road,
the Rams.
in
Can't
the
stop the run. The Rams can't stop the run.
okay.
And what over the past 4 or 5 games? How many picks have Matthew Stafford thrown? 8. Oh, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Can't stop Cup, man. He's gonna have a big game.
We don't have to stop Cup as long as we keep getting picks. Matthew Stafford throw it right to us. We all right.
Nah, they get hot.
All right,
we'll be
listen,
in trouble.
the Rams need this win more than we need this win because they need to build this confidence. If we lose a game, we still got New Orleans in this game, whether they win or lose. We got that. But if we lose a game, not New Orleans, but the Rams, they should have won. And they need this win more than we do because they got to go into the playoffs, winning the division. They got to put that record on the line.
And those games are going on simultaneously.
Yes, I'll be in tune.
Same time.
It's okay. I'm excited. I'm not worried. As long as we get in the playoffs, I'm not worried about the opponent. It's the NFC is more open than the AFC at this point. That's all I'm saying.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
who you saying?
Kansas City's gonna win the AFC.
They just lost to the Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals are good, but Kansas City's gonna probably win the AFC. You really think the rookie Bengal team is gonna make it to the NFC Championship?
I mean, the Chiefs look vulnerable.
Tennessee's good, but I don't know.
I mean, I thought the Chiefs too, but they look vulnerable.
They do, but I mean, they got playoff experience, and you can't discredit playoff experience over a team that doesn't have playoff experience. At least I wouldn't suspect you could.
The Titans, I would say, that Titans are the number 1 seed now,
and they get Derrick Henry back. So
if they get Henry back, he is going to return. So that I think if Henry returns and he's anywhere close, and they get the 1 seed, they're going to be tough.
They're going to be very tough.
Because I don't know that Kansas City can get them off the field.
I don't know if it's a defense in the AFC that can stop them. The Bills' defense maybe, but Kansas City's defense is playing better than the offense at this point. I don't know if the Colts get in. The Colts are a dangerous team. I think that's a 9-17 or 10-17. They could probably.
Colts play everybody hard.
They're tough. Colts are tough.
I don't know if they're gonna get. I don't know if they get a win or not, but they do play everybody hard. So it'll be a good game.
Now, if you want to look at strength of schedule, I'd say the AFC South is probably the weakest division in football overall. Of
course.
I mean, because you got the Texans and the Jaguars in there. I know Vince is shaking his head, but
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this. The Texans will either be a game above 500 next year for a wild card and make the playoffs, or they'll be right at 500. That team is not going to be bad next year. I'm telling you that. They're not going to be bad next year.
Who's their quarterback?
You know what? They'll figure out the quarterback. That defense is going to be.
It'll be.
Smith is going to get that team okay. The defense is going to be right where they need to be.
It'll be him for another year.
Before they start making the big strides, you're not going to just beat the Texans like that. They're kind of like how we said about the Cleveland football team. I shouldn't say the Cleveland Indians, but the Cleveland Browns. They got a playoff roster, but this is probably it for for Baker Mayfield. So
yeah, I'm sure. I know Jared will be glad. He's ready for the Baker experiment to be over. As a Cleveland Browns fan, I feel bad for him.
He bet on himself. He should have signed that contract. He should have signed the contract extension and he bet on himself.
Yeah. He lost. Man.
He should have just take the money, sir.
I'm gonna say this about Baker Mayfield. It's an unpopular opinion. I don't think Baker Mayfield is as bad as they pan him out to be.
He's not.
I think Cleveland is as bad as we all know them to be. And every quarterback that goes over there, their career dies. Like it's just not a good place to be. What is that? What did Mufasa say? When Simba asked, "What's that dark area over there?" Daddy, that's Cleveland. You don't go there. You don't ever go there. You know, so I can't blame it on Baker Mayfield. He needs to get out of there and shoot. If he want to come to Texas, I'll take him. Shoot, I'll give you Deshaun Watson
But you know,
You've been trying to give him away all year. No takers so
all
far.
year. Don't nobody want him.
yeah,
Nobody want him.
he'll end up in Cleveland. He'll end up in Cleveland or Pittsburgh. I don't think culturally Pittsburgh is a great place for him. I think he'll flourish in Pittsburgh. But the better team, Cleveland's a better team on paper than Pittsburgh is. And you get a quarterback that can run and throw in Cleveland, and they got a good defense and a good run game. Man, he win 10 games.
They said Mike Tomlin ain't never had a losing season.
Never. In 15 years.
It's crazy.
Big Ben.
But then I guess in a way, like
Some of those seasons, man. They've had good defenses and things like that, but like some of those, like Ben,
they've always had a good running game too. That's always what
Yeah.
carried their team was the running game.
and
A good defense.
if they did in those years that Ben Roethlisberger had crazy passing yard years, I mean, there was like 2 or 3 years in a row he just had crazy numbers.
There was a couple of years where Ben had to carry him because I remember there was one year in particular that defense was awful. That defense was real bad. That was back when I think they first got Joe Horn and all of them, and it didn't work out at first. And it took a year or two to get it right, and Ben had to kind of put them on their back for a little bit. But one thing is for sure, I can't remember a time when they didn't have a good running game. I can't.
You got to be able to run the
always
football.
had dominant running backs. So,
You got to be able to run the football, especially in the playoffs.
Well, I guess we should probably wrap it up, guys. Y'all got any final thoughts?
Shit.
Final thought for me, it's a big week for the Bulldogs, girls and boys basketball, especially going on the road. Got 2 road games on Friday and Tuesday. One's a district game, one's not for the men. Go out there and get compete. Only thing I can ask you to do is compete, and you always want to go in and get a good solid win. That's a good test in between the district. Get more time for guys to come out and play. You're gonna probably face 2 pretty good crowds, so it's a good night, good playoff level type basketball. So this is what you want to do: get your guys ready for playoff competition. It's perfect. Shout out to the girls. They're on the road. Don't get off the gas. Continue to get better, continue to play better, and man, I'm excited for it. I really am. I'm geared up for Friday and Tuesday.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on here. Vince, what you got?
Said it all, man. Corey said it all. Like it's a big week. Friday, serious game, very serious. You know how we feel about Lindale. And then Tuesday is those are the games that we all look forward to. Packing up, traveling to Tyler. We're going into town.
Like how you said Tyler. It's not Tyler, it's Tyler. Tyla. Like how you said Tyler.
We're going to Tyler. Like my grandma said, we're going into town. We're going to town. Yeah. So, it's a big week. I'm excited.
Well, we've got a lot going on, like y'all said. We've got Friday night. Corey and I will be on the call in Lindale as Chapel Hill boys will be taking on the Lindale Eagles. First big test. I would call Kilgore not a test, but I think Lindale and Bullard, we thought before the season would be in the top echelon with us. Now that may not be the way it falls, but I still think on the road in Lindale is always tough in any sport. And so I think this is a big test. Can we go on the road, keep our composure if things don't go our way, keep your head on straight, and compete. And of course, going into the Lions Den, no pun intended, at Tyler High in a non-normal scheduled game, one that's going to have a lot of hype. The players know each other. There's going to be a lot of trash talk, a lot of mouthing. Again, on the road. What's that?
I'm talking noise. My social media is going to be on fire.
So you've got a lot of hype coming in this game. So it's a lot of pressure. And it's not a playoff or a district game, but there's a lot of pressure in this game. And then not to get too far ahead, the game I'm looking forward to is Friday night when Chapel Hill hosts Bullard. I think, we've all been looking at Bullard on the schedule this year a little differently than we did last year. And their new coach, Coach Knuckles, came in and pretty much turned the program around. Last year I think they won just maybe 2 or 3 district games. One of them was us. There toward the end, they got better at the end of the year. But now he's came in. His son is a junior, a very good little ball player. So they've got a pretty good team. I haven't got to see him in person, but that one's going to be a big game at home. And so I know we'll talk about that one a little more next week, as that game will be on the on the wrap-up show next week. We'll talk about that looking forward, and we'll see kind of where the Bulldogs stand in district going into that game. But we expect – all of us here expect to be going into that game deadlocked at the top with Bullard and playing for first place in district play. So
absolutely.
That's going to be a big game. And like I said, we'll have that one. All those games will be on the Bulldog Sports Network. We'll have Friday night, Tuesday night, then the wrap-up show on Wednesday, and then the following Friday night at home against Bullard. So what we got going on. Let's thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Zoe Knows Insurance.
Hello.
Thanks, Zoe, for sponsoring our show. We need to get you on sometime, Zoe. So if you're listening, reach out to us. We'll get you on. Talk some basketball hoops. I guess that's pretty much all I've got tonight. We're going to close the show, and we're going to give a shout out to our player of the game last night and show his plays again for everyone maybe that didn't catch those before. Bulldog Sports Network player of the game last night, Javen Mayfield, sophomore guard for the Bulldogs. For Vince, Corey, I'm Brett. We'll catch y'all next time right here on the weekly wrap-up show on the Bulldog Sports Network. Peace.
Oh, and that didn't look right for Javen Mayfield. Look like his shoulder came out of socket. He's holding it funny. And that's his left. That's not what Chapel Hill needs right now.
That's a shooting on. Got to get him out.
Somebody get the rebound, and Kilgore steals it, and what a play. Javen Mayfield just drew an offensive foul with one arm. What an incredible effort by Javen. I mean, his arm is hanging, Corey. And he just took a charge. I'm going to stand up and give him a standing ovation for that one.
I'm still in awe right now. Like, I don't care.
He's about to get his arm put back in place over there on the sideline, Corey, and he just took a charge. What guts.
No, his dad's proud.
I would be.
Mom and dad. Hey.
I would be. That's an incredible up a little offensive play here. Mayfield fires up a three, and he hits it.
It's a big shot.
Javen Mayfield's doing it all tonight.
Shoulder's okay right now.
Sure is. That was a great smooth look with the left hand that he injured earlier, left shoulder injured earlier. And it puts him up 2. Kilgore, 3 off the mark. Mayfield with the rebound. He looks to push.
I like it. Good pass.
Kicks it. Chetland,
That's
corner
money.
3.
That's money.
Fires it. Oh, and he kind of there's a gunshot.
That's money. You know what?
Kilgore there.
I saw the play develop all the way up. I knew exactly what he was looking for.
That was a huge shot by Chetland and puts Chapel Hill with their biggest lead in a long time.
Shooters.
Of 5.
Feet set, net wet, wide base. Caught the basketball in the shooter's pocket, let it go.